I took out 5 wrestlers, superstars, from various companies. Well, mostly WWE, pretty much, but that were once upon a time either a heel or a face in their careers, from any era. And we're going to just debate and see if X wrestler was a better heel or face throughout their career. All right, first one. Let's go Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch. Was she a better heel or better face?
I think earlier on in her career she was better as a babyface, but now, I mean, her whole MO earlier in her career was she was the plucky underdog, and that's just not believable now. I mean, she's she's won every championship. She's main event at WrestleMania. Like you're not the underdog, okay?
Yeah.
You can try to, you can tell people, you can keep trying to sell yourself as that, but you're not. Right. So I think now she's better. Now she's better off as a heel.
So it's funny because like I never thought I would say heel, but I'm gonna still say face, only because of the fact that I when I came back to watching 2019, she was high to power the biggest star in the company, and she was the quintessential babyface. And when she first turned heel, in 2021, I didn't like it. I thought it was forced, it was grabby, it was just trying things, trying things. But this heel turn she's doing now, she's done this year, has stuck the landing a little more. So while I will still say face, it is a lot more closer now than it used to be. If you had asked me this question 2 years ago, I would have said definitely face with a bullet, not even close. But now, to your point, she's done underdog. She's done everything, and she's done everything. She's now, you know where she's at now? She's where Bret Hart was in 96, 97. You know what I'm saying? So you're not an underdog. You're just whiny at this point now. So, I'm gonna say babyface only because she's high powers and was still her top of her game as a babyface, as the man back in that 2019, 2020. So, all right, next one here. Edge or Adam Copeland, we call him a Cope.
Okay.
Was he better heel or better face?
Ooh.
This is tougher actually.
Well, all right. Because again, I'll say now, like, especially since he came back, babyface. Because it's just, again, at this stage in his career, just nobody's booing him, right?
Right.
And so I mean, so definitely in this stage of his career since he came back, babyface. Um, let's see, I wasn't watching when he was doing the whole rated R superstar thing and all that.
Right. It was I.
I wasn't watching
But he was
then.
killing. But he was killing it though. I watched in hindsight. He was killing it.
So yeah, I mean, so at that point, yeah, I said at that point he was probably better as a heel. And then, when Edge and Christian were, teaming up during the Attitude Era when they were tag team champions, they were the heels and they were great then. So, again, earlier in his career, heel, yes, but now I'd say babyface.
This one's tough for me because I would argue his best work of his career was done as a heel. And watching in hindsight, his radar superstar stuff in the 2000s, his feud with Taker, his feud with I think he feud with Cena a couple times. Um, I can argue that that's his best work. But the work I've seen mostly through his career between 1998 and now has mostly been babyface. You know,
Yeah,
this is tough. I'll go heel only because of the fact that I acknowledge the fact that his best work was done in that whole thing. Like his best work, with him and Lita together and doing the whole thing with Matt Hardy, that's his best work. I think for that alone, that's the difference between the work he's done as a babyface. I think is that he's done his height of powers has been when he was a heel. So I'll give him that. But that shit's closer than you realize too. Also, so I'll go heel. All right, next one here. How about Kevin Owens? Better heel or better face?
um, I'd say heel, but he's 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 kind of hindered because there's a section of the audience that doesn't want to boo him
Hmm.
because they've been kind of riding with him ever since he was Kevin Steen in Ring of Honor,
Yeah,
and so because of that, you know, they root for him regardless of what he's doing as a character. But I think I do think he's a better heel because he can get to like a really place of being really like sick and twisted and demented as a
yeah.
heel.
I've seen both obviously in real time. I love both in real time. There was a time when he was doing the whole Stone Cold Steve Austin rib to some degree in 2019. The stunner and all that stuff. But honestly, you look at his work. His best work is as a heel. He to me he works better as an asshole. He works better as that cocky, arrogant, kick ass, fuck you, whatever I'm gonna do, that kind of thing. It works as a heel. It's a babyface too, but it's different as a heel. It just hits more as a heel. His best matches also as a heel as well too. His stuff with Roman. Although stuff with Roman was that he was a babyface all the time, but a lot of stuff he's done in recent years, the Cody feud recently was amazing.
Yeah.
Um, and he works as a heel. I think his best works as a heel. Honestly, but no one's close because he's done some really good things at babyface too. Also, that you know makes you think, whoa, he put the company on his back. Who knows? But I think it's still a heel for me. So, all right, two more here. Let's go with let's go tag team here. The Hart Foundation. Better heel, better face.
Okay, so I want to say babyface because they showed more personality
Hmm.
when they're baby faces. Especially Neidhart, some of those promos and whatnot. Um, when they were heels, I mean, Brett was always a great wrestler, but I mean, you could have swapped them with some other heel tag team and gotten the same kind of results. So I'd say babyface. I think they did better work as baby faces.
Yeah, I agree with you. And remember, they came in WWE in I think 84, 85 as heels and stayed heels for a couple of years.
Yeah,
Through up to 88 with him and Jimmy Hart. And they have some great work to heel. Great work. Their first tag team title run was as heels. But the whole demented Jim Neidhart thing, as you mentioned it, and you're so right about that. It was actually more effective as a babyface though. Because he was crazy, but it was likable crazy. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, as a heel, it's like, oh well, yeah, he's doing the heel tendency thing. But he's doing it as a babyface though. It's like that's kind of cool actually. So I'm gonna go babyface too also because I love their late '80s run, early '90s run. Especially when they won the tag titles in '90 against Demolition, SummerSlam
yeah.
'90. That was a great run too. Also, I love that run. And the babyface at the time. So yeah, I'm gonna go babyface too. Also, I really enjoyed that run, especially so without Jimmy Hart, especially. All right, and finally, last one here. This will be a good one here. The Big Boss Man. Better heel or better face?
I'm to heel because, like, the essence of the character, he was a corrupt, you know, uh, policeman, basically, who overstepped his authority, and yeah, it was much better as a heel. Like when he the whole bit of like handcuffing people to ropes and beating the shit out of them with the
Yeah.
nightstick. That obviously you don't do that as a babyface, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now look, that's a character that well, that character wouldn't work too well today.
No, with that little flag thing going on there, yeah, buddy.
Yeah, that wouldn't work too well today.
Yeah,
But
I'm. Mm-hmm.
no, I mean, look, that was definitely a heel character, and again, because again, even when he was a baby face, there wasn't really again, the person, the personality, the kind of deeper aspects of the character didn't really come into play very much. Whereas when he was a heel, that those parts of it, came into play more. And then also later on, I mean, the whole bit with the Big Show's dad's funeral. I mean, that was.
Yeah. Oh my
I
God.
mean,
Yes,
look,
I know that.
that was tacky, and it was a really poor taste.
Yes.
That shit was hilarious. I don't care.
So I'm going to agree with you on that one. Definitely a heel character, the whole nine. But I'm going to say this though, in defense of the Bayface character of Big Boss Man, it worked for the short run it did in '90. It worked. It actually worked. Babyface Big Boss Man had no business working, and it worked. So it was pretty good. As a babyface with Hogan, whatnot, and he also won the IC title against Perfect in Mania 7. But ultimately, the character itself, the peak of the character, the reason why it worked from the word go, the reason why you booked with Hogan immediately when he got into the company in '88 is because the heel character and the whole, as you mentioned, cupping to the ring post and that whole thing, him and Slick together was great. I think even when he did the rebirth of the character in the late '90s in the Junior era,
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool too. Also, yeah.
Yeah.
While it did work, it was not a failure to babyface at all. I thought it worked with babyface, but the better part of that character was the heel. So I mean, again, Big Boss Man. When I started watching wrestling '87, '88, and when he came out and started messing around with Hogan and tying him up to the freaking the railing and whacking him in the back, and oh my gosh, that's actually a massive. That's actually a big childhood inflection point for myself. It really is. Hogan sent him on for another one. So it's Bossman beating the shit out of Hogan. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's gotta be heel. It's gotta be heel ultimately. So
And I was surprised that they put him with Hogan from the beginning because look, I remember him as Big Bubba Rogers in the NWA. He was Jim Cornette's bodyguard.
Right.
Um, and the way they introduced him was so great because basically like Dusty whacked him over the head with like a wooden chair, and he just no sold the shit and just pulled the chair off from around his neck and threw it on the ground like is that all you got? and
Yeah. Definitely better heel ultimately.
yeah.
So anyway,